On Saturday afternoon, Tottenham Hotspur beat Liverpool 2-1 in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in a game that has been shadowed by the horrible, and I mean horrible, refereeing performance by VAR and by the referee itself in Simon Hooper. From dodgy decisions to 2 red cards for Liverpool to a goal that was perfectly legal from Luis Diaz being ruled out for offside when quite clearly you can see that he is well onside. VAR has to change. Something has to give. But how? And why is VAR such a problem in football after all this time? Well, that's exactly what we will be discussing in today's video. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Back of the Net here. I hope you're all doing well. Now, the video assistant referee known as VAR, the system was introduced in football to assist match officials in making more accurate decisions during games. Or at least that's what it's supposed to do on paper. The first time we ever saw VAR in an international friendly match was between France and Italy on September 1st, 2016. And from then on, the technology was slowly implemented around the footballing world in the FIFA Confederations Cup, in the FIFA World Cup, and the Laliga, Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, and other global leagues. But despite being around since 2016, VAR is still a huge talking point, and if we're being honest here, even generous, I'd say at least 3 games at Premier League weekend, VAR has a mess up, a bad one that costs the team a point or 2. It's horrible. Something needs to be fixed. Why, after all this time, right? We're close to 10 years of VAR being in the sport, in the biggest sport in the world, right? The sport the globe loves, that has the most money. We're close to 10 years in it. And VAR still is a huge problem, still cannot be fixed. They try fix it in VAR and then something else comes up. It is a horrible system. And you know, I'm not the biggest rugby fan, but I think it's quite fitting that the fact that the Rugby World Cup is happening to talk about this, right? TMO, which is essentially rugby's VAR, TMO isn't perfect, but it's a much better system. It's a much better system than VAR. I think one of the biggest problems we have with VAR is that we don't have any transparency. When VAR are making a decision, you're in the stadium, you don't know what's happening. All you can see on the screen is that they're looking at offside. You don't know who they're looking at, you don't know what they're looking at, and then when you watch it on TV, you can't hear anything. You just hear the commentators kind of making assumptions. On TMO, in rugby, when a decision is going to be made, the referee has a microphone, right? The referee speaks in that microphone. You can hear it in the stadium and you can hear it on TV. You can then hear what TMO says on TV. You can hear every word of what they're saying in the box, and therefore, even if you disagree with the decision, you can kind of understand the reasoning. In VAR, we have none of that. Absolutely nothing. You will just the events will happen, the game will be played on, then play will be stopped, ref will be sent to go look at the screens, sometimes doesn't even go look at the screen, and a decision will be made. You get no reasoning, and you kind of just have to, just guess, just thumbsuck where you got the decision from. VAR is a huge problem, and like I said, at least with TMO and rugby, if you don't agree with the decision that they made, right, because you're not always going to agree, you could have your biases, or you could just completely disagree with what the ref's seen. But at least with TMO and rugby, you can understand why that decision was made. In VAR, we have no clue. We have no clue. Also, I don't know if you guys also get the same feeling as me about this, but I also think that the implementation of VAR has kind of made referees, I would say, lazy. They're too scared to make big decisions, and they kind of just hope VAR comes and saves them. But if VAR doesn't feel like working too hard today, well, then they're not going to save them and the decision goes away. There are too many, it's just too many decisions that VAR makes. The ref seems scared to make. I don't think the system that VAR has right now is a good one. I mean, it's not even I think it's quite obvious. I think the whole footballing world will agree with me, even maybe some referees. The system that VAR has right now is completely screwed. It's kind of used as a safety blanket for the referee. The referee doesn't have to make the big decisions. The referee doesn't have to really look into something too hard while it's happening in real time. All VAR should be is just there in case the referee misses something. But it feels like to me that VAR is there to be the referee, to take over the whole show. Every fan, I'm telling you now, every fan has at least been screwed over by VAR, I'd say 5 times in the last 2 years. That's on a minimum. Every fan, whether you're in a championship team supporting, I don't know, Preston North End, or you're supporting the big ones like Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and so on. I think it's quite obvious that VAR is the main referee, quote unquote. It's just, like I said, I just think the referee kind of takes a seat back, just relaxes and lets VAR do all the work. Not that VAR is very good at doing all the work, but that's how I think it just happens. Now, when VAR was first introduced to the footballing world, a lot of us didn't like it because a lot of us footballing fans are stubborn and we like our way, we like our team to stay the same, everything, right? But at the time, genuinely, I didn't mind VAR because VAR came in with the right decision. I thought it'd for sure help with the offsides and onside. That obviously isn't true. And it would help a lot with a lot of decisions. You'd kind of understand the decisions more, and it would help the referee in case he misses things. But like I said, I think it's just made the referees lazy. I don't know how you can have a system, have all this computers, all this AI and everything, and you still don't know if it's onside or offside. All the angles in the stadium. Like, that is one thing I was sure of. I was sure that at least VAR can't screw up an offside or onside. That's what I thought. And then you saw that game against Liverpool and Tottenham, and I can go back and mention so many previous games this season alone where dodgy offsides have been called, where lines look like they've basically just been guesswork, or there's been no lines at all. How? And I understand now how this Liverpool situation happened with Luis Diaz, but explain to me, if your job is to be a VAR referee, you're sitting in that office and you're watching those screens. You did your offside onside check for the Luis Diaz goal against Tottenham, and apparently the reason they said it was offside, essentially, they didn't say it was offside, they thought the goal was given. What communication is that between VAR and the referee? How can you think the goal is given? That's why they said in the VAR room, check has been complete, because they thought the goal was given. This is your one job, is to know what the referee is given, to communicate with the referee, and to fix his decision if anything was made. We're fans, we're watching football from the TV, but we know if a goal is given or not. How can VAR not know? This is what I'm saying. I think it's absolutely disgraceful, the effort that's put in by VAR, the system by VAR. It is horrible, and not just in the Premier League. Every top 5 league around the world, maybe even lower than that, and in international football. FIFA, I like their new FIFA rule they have with the offside, where they can easily tell. But why can't the Premier League implement that? Not just that, right? With all this technology, we still have games where they forget to turn on the goal line technology. You forget to turn on the goal line technology in the Premier League game. I don't care who's playing, I don't care if it's Sheffield versus Bournemouth, it's a Premier League game, and you don't turn on your goal line technology. Your VAR doesn't work. We don't know what the hell you guys are saying to each other. What are you even talking about? What are you looking at? We just kind of get it from the commentators if you're watching on TV, and if you're in the stadium, I feel it's even worse for you because you don't know what the heck is going on. You can't celebrate a goal anymore because Lord knows if it's going to be given a goal or not. It's just a whole mess up. I love this sport. Football is the best sport in the world. No one can dispute that. But it is ruining the sport. It is. It just is. I hate, and I'm an Arsenal fan, but I hate the fact that this Tottenham and Liverpool game was shadowed by all this horrible refereeing. If Tottenham won fair and square, then fair play. If Liverpool won fair and square, then fair play. And I would absolutely hate to go, let's say it's Arsenal versus Tottenham and we win against Tottenham in the North London derby, and we can't celebrate it because VAR gave us a half-assed decision that they didn't properly look at, and that's all I'm going to hear until the next North London derby. It's horrible. You can't celebrate your wins, you can't celebrate your goals anymore. VAR is killing the game slowly but surely, and the worst part about it is it's getting worse as the seasons progress. It's getting worse. When it first came in, it was bad, but it wasn't nearly this bad. It wasn't getting the offsides, onsides this wrong. It wasn't miscommunicating simple things like goal given with the referees. It is horrible. It's getting way worse. Explain to me how with technology getting better, It's getting way worse. Also, if you've ever heard those videos going around where they finally reveal what VAR is saying to each other, if you've ever heard that, the audio on that, it's like they're talking on a microwave or something. You can't hear what each other are saying. How, in modern day and age, how can you have bad... I can just go on. I can literally go on. This is horrible. VAR needs to be fixed, and not just in the Premier League. If you watch any form of football and where VAR is there, you will admit that VAR is a horrible system. It needs to be fixed ASAP. How do you fix it though? Well, in my opinion, like I keep saying, TMO in rugby, it's not great, it's not perfect, but it's much better than VAR. First of all, I think the biggest thing for VAR to be fixed is communication. And no, not just with each other. We, as viewers and as people in the stadium, as fans, we need to know what you're saying to each other. It needs to be broadcasted what VAR is saying to the referees. Simple as that. For me, that already fixes 80% of the problem, because then we can understand reasoning for every situation. And then if a referee makes a dodgy decision with basically fucking dog shit reasoning, then we can at least make him answer to it. So I think that's one of the big things. I think maybe a press conference for the referees after every game so they can discuss all the big decisions that were made. That's just another thing. And I think there's so many more. I could just go on. It could be a 5-hour video about how VAR should be fixed. I'm not in charge of VAR. I'm not a referee, but I'm just giving my fan perspective on it. But yeah, VAR is a horrible system, needs to be fixed, and there are so many sports that do it a lot better. Even if you look at basketball, right? We don't know what they look at the whole time in basketball. But after a decision is made with their form of VAR, I don't know what the name of it is. Once they've done their video replay, they've looked at it and they've decided, okay, no, it's a foul. They then go to the microphone and announce to the whole arena why it's a foul and on who. VAR does none of that. VAR does no communication. In the biggest sport in the world, the most loved sport in the world, we don't know why referees make the decisions that they do. I'm not going to go into the handballs because that could be another 10 minutes. I'm not going to go into go deep into the offsides and go. It's a horrible, horrible system. I'm getting worked up right now talking about it. But anyway, let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think about VAR. How can we fix it? What is the biggest problem with VAR? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.